Hi there guys, I'm going to do a video for my grade 9 math. This is my first video for this group, and this is going to be some basic middle school math review as we just started off the year with fractions. So we're going to look at these 4 questions you see in front of you on reducing fractions. So if you wanted to reduce these fractions or rewrite them into equivalent fractions, you'd look at this one for here. This is 3 over 6, and you decide what you want to divide by, both in the numerator and the denominator, and so you're looking for numbers that are multiples of each one. So we look, and 3 and 6 clearly each can be divided by 3, so we do that. The same thing on the numerator and the denominator. 3 divided by 3 would give 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. That's clearly a half if you were to follow that reasoning. 5 over 35, well, you look for a number that's a common multiple to each. We could divide the numerator by 5, divide the denominator by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 35 over 5 gives 7. 2 over 4, some pretty easy numbers here. Divide by 2, divide by 2. You get 1 half again. Now 4 out of 28, let's say you divided by 2 in the numerator and the denominator, then you'd get 2 over 14. But then you might be able to go further. If you divided by 2 again, you would get 1 over 7. This could be achieved from the beginning had we just divided by 4. In the numerator and denominator, you'd have had 1 over 7, and you'd have had the exact same answer. Okay, so pretty simple stuff, I know, just a review. So if we look at reducing improper fractions now, sometimes your numerator is larger than your denominator. And so if you want to reduce these, first you might want to look for numbers that divide in, or you may want to actually try and write it as a mixed fraction first. So you decide how many times does 36 go into 129. So you'd have 36 times 1, 36 times 2, 36 times 3, and 36 times 4 isn't going to be big enough. So 3 of the 36's would be 108. So you have your 129, you take off the 108, and you get 21 out of 36 left over. Now this fraction here, we can reduce like we just saw in the first part. We could divide by 3 in the numerator and denominator, and we would still have 3, but you got 21 over 3 is 7, 36 over 3 is 12. So you have 3 and 7, 12. 42 over 15, 15 times 2 is 30, so 2 of those, you would have 30, you'd take off, 42, you'd subtract the 30 from it, you're left with 12 behind. So 2 and 12 fifteenths. Again, looking at 12 fifteenths, we could divide each by 3, and so dividing them by 3 would leave you with 4 fifths, and you still had 2 and 4 fifths. 44 to 32. 32 only goes into 44 once. So if you subtracted the 44 and the 32, you get 12. So you have 1 and 12 out of 32. Again, looks like something divides into there, so we'll divide by 2. And so you'd have 1 and 6, and 32 divided by 2 is 16. Well, if you look, both those numbers are even, so we can keep dividing by 2 here. Divide by 2, and 2 again, and you have 1 and 3/8. Okay, 9 fifteenths, again, it only goes in one time. 15 from 9 leaves 6 ninths. Divide by 3 to reduce, top and bottom. You get 1 and 2 thirds. So now we go down to our last set, rewriting and reducing mixed fractions. So now when you have the mixed fraction, 6 and 1 over 9, well the 6, if it was as groups of 9, this would be 54 over 9, that's what 6 is, and 1/9, so you'd have 1/9 there. So 54 and 1 is 55 ninths. Now maybe you've learned the trick over the years where your teacher has shown you that you take your 6 and your 9, multiply them together, and get 54 and add the 1 to make 55. Okay, the reason you can do that is because 6 is 54 ninths. It's the same as multiplying them. So if I write 8 as a tenth, then it's 80 over 10. That's the 8. And 7 tenths gets added on to there. So you get 87 over 10. 1 3/5. 1 is 5 over 5 plus 3 over 5 makes 8/5. And 5/4 is 20 over 4. That's what 5 is. And 1 over 4. So you get 21. Now if we just check these with our rule, 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 21 over 4. 1 times 5 is 5, plus 3 is 8. 8 times 10 is 80, plus 7 is 87. And we already checked the first one. So as we look at those, it's a little bit of a fraction review from what we saw on our first day. There's more coming, but I thought this might help you out. And anybody else that's subscribed to my channels, if you're a physics chemistry student, this is quite a young little bit of review for you, but fractions are fun, so it never hurts.